And joining me now via Skype is Dali Yang, professor of political science at the University of Chicago. Professor, welcome to the broadcast. Taliban leaders have refused to talk to the Afghan government, but have already traveled several times to China. They've held talks with Russia, Iran, attended conferences in Japan and Europe. So why would things be different this time around?
Well, China has a strong interest in the region, and it has developed extremely strong relations with Pakistan. It also has actually been involved in Afghanistan. So it has a very strong interest, but also not only the will now, but also a lot of the wherewithal in terms of reaching out to both sides in helping, and in particular, as China advocates and promotes the One Belt, One Road initiative in boosting connectivity, in promoting stability in the region, then it has an interest in actually working with both sides. And I think this is how actually they are trying to find what the Chinese like to say, a win-win situation.
There are allegations that Islamabad is harboring some of the fiercest groups, yet we've got 200,000 fighters, Pakistani fighters, that are taking on the Taliban in this region. They've also erected this massive 2,300-kilometer fence on the border with Afghanistan to keep the Taliban from entering this region. Tell us what is happening here.
Well, this is a much more complicated situation because you have a lot of different forces operating. There is, of course, the official authorities. There are also groups that may have different sympathies, and the border is not always as hot wired as it is actually in where the fence is. So in that sense, there has been a lot of issues. China itself actually, historically, as we remember, was involved along with the United States in Afghanistan in the late 1970s and early 1980s as well. So it has a long history there. But of course, to the extent that both countries connect with China, there is also domestic concern for China as well, because there have been Uyghurs from Xinjiang in China who have traveled to the Middle East, including, in fact, Afghanistan, to join in actually various insurgencies as well. So in that sense, China has a very strong interest in stabilizing the region, so as also to help to stem the tide of people who want to turn to terrorists and other kind of insurgencies, both abroad and also potentially at home.
Other governments have pressed Pakistan to encourage the Taliban to rejoin these talks, but Islamabad keeps saying that it has less influence over the group than others actually believe they do. Is this true?
Well, the Taliban, of course, has a long history. It has a lot of independence in many ways. I think there is a lot of truth to the Pakistani saying. But at the same time, of course, when all sides try to come in, to, both using carrots and also sticks, it helps actually. So this is actually what I think a lot of parties, in particular in this case, the three parties, hope to find this very sweet spot in terms of promoting greater stability in the region. And of course, that would also help in terms of development. And of course, in turn, the development would actually help to promote stability over the long haul. It's a long, arduous process.
Well, Professor Dali Yang, we certainly appreciate your time joining us from the University of Chicago.